Welcome to another edition of the Quality and Practice Minute. In this Quality and Practice Minute, I'm going to do another tool talk on another continuous improvement tool, capability analysis. Capability analysis comes up twice in the Six Sigma process. Capability can be measured a number of different ways. I'll cover that in a minute. First, what is capability analysis and why do we measure it? Capability analysis is measuring the variation and bias of our process against the requirements of the customer, otherwise known as specifications. The number reported in whatever form is a statistic that indicates to us how well the process meets the needs of the customer. The diagram below shows a process that has wide variation and is not centered between the specifications. Both of these issues result in defects, costing the organization money and reducing customer satisfaction. So how can capability be measured? There are at least 4 ways that come to mind immediately: CPK, Z-score, DPMO, and yield. The key thing to remember about all of these measurements is that they are just different ways of expressing the same idea. That idea is, how good is my process at meeting the customer's expectations? So what's the difference? The short answer is not much. CPK and Z-score are directly convertible from one another just by multiplying or dividing by 3, depending on which statistic you prefer. DPMO is defects per million opportunities, expresses the idea that if you were to perform the work process 1 million times, how many of those results would be defects? Yield is another way of expressing this as a percentage. Yield is just the percentage of output of the work process that is good. I could share with you the different formulas for how to calculate these different capability measurements, but I really don't want you to leave yet. And those formulas are readily available from any number of sources, including myself. What I'd rather discuss is why we do this in the context of Six Sigma, or really any continuous improvement project. There are really 2 reasons to baseline. One is to baseline process information, process performance rather, and number 2, to measure the improvement. In step 6 of DMAIC, we measure baseline capability. Capability is a measure of how well the process performs its intended function for the customer. Before we go and start tinkering and messing around with the process, we want to understand how the process is performing today. We call that a baseline. We come back later in DMAIC in step 14 after we have implemented the improvement plan and allowed the process to run for some time, and we measure performance again. This time we compare the new process to the baseline to determine how much improvement we have made through our efforts. If you're interested in more information on capability analysis, you can take our green belt or our black belt course, or if you want to have a specific conversation about your situation, you can reach out to us and set up an appointment to have a chat. You can reach out to us at qualityandpractice.solutions, or you can email us at info@qualityandpractice.solutions. Thank you, and we'll see you again on the next Quality and Practice Minute.